what is up, everybody?
Evening,
Y'all hear
evening.
from the chat?
Yeah, you're good.
What is up, everybody?
Yeah, everything's coming through.
Perfect. Good evening, everybody. So I got a couple guests here. We got Mr. Reaper. We've got Absentee and D-Man. So we're going to
Evening,
talk a little
everybody.
bit. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about what Evolution Vanguard is all about. Y'all just bear with us. We're going to get this thing rolling. Having a couple technical difficulties, no problem. All right, so anyway, I'll start off. As you can tell, I am Vanguard. We got Absentee on here, Demon, and Reaper once again. So we're just going to have an open discussion, kind of let everybody know what our channel is about and what we stand for. As you can tell by all the flags, we believe in America. Okay, we believe in what America represents, the good old United States of America. Now, what we intend to do is to bring everybody what we call the truth. You can fact check by all means. That's our goal. We just want to make sure that everybody is getting the news as it should be delivered. So what we're dealing with nowadays is things are kind of shadowed. You got some things that should be brought to light, some things that should not. So like I said, our goal is for us to kind of eliminate that gap. Mr. Reaper, I'm actually going to turn to you and see if you got any ideas or want to weigh in on everything.
Hey, what's up, guys? Glad you guys are here. Appreciate you guys coming on the stream. I'm open to conversation, whatever you guys want to talk about. You guys coming on the stream. I'm open to conversation, whatever you guys want to talk about. You guys coming on the stream. I'm open to conversation, whatever you guys want to talk about. You guys coming on the stream. I'm open to conversation, whatever you guys want to talk about. What was that?
Sorry about that, guys. We had a little bit of echo going on. No worries. Y'all just bear with us. We're stuck in a time warp right now. So we're working this thing out. We're all new to this. It's not a bad thing. So we're not new to being supporters of America. We're just new to the whole live YouTube thing. So y'all just stick with us. We'll get all this stuff sorted out. So a couple more things. I'll just kind of go back and talk about a few other things. As you can tell, there's a website scrolling across the bottom of the screen. That is Evolution Vanguard 1776. So what that is that's a site. It's free to anybody. Anybody want to jump on there and join, you can share pretty much anything you want to. It will not be censored. However, I will ask that you keep it to a non-racial situation, as well as no threats on there. Let's keep it all united. Okay, let's treat everybody respectfully. If you choose to donate, you can. The Cash App is located on the bottom of the screen as well. It'll be scrolling by. You're not required to. If you do, you do. If you don't, no matter. We're going to keep this thing going regardless. So right now, as of this moment, what we're going to do is anybody in the chat, if y'all have got questions about what the channel is or any lingering questions that you have, you can go ahead and ask them in the chat and we'll reply as quick and as soon as possible and try to clear some things up. Don't forget to hit that like button. See if old Reaper got straightened out. Reaper, did you get everything up? filtered?
I'm good. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah. Good.
Okay.
Good. We'll
Good
ask
deal.
our tech, we'll ask the tech guru, Demon. Demon, we good?
I'm not hearing any echoes or anything.
All right, perfect.
Cool. So I see a lot of people hitting or typing in "Let's go Brandon," and that made me think about something I saw. I don't know if you guys know who Mike Rowe is, but he did Dirty Jobs. He has another show. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a giving back show. It's really good. I think it's like on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook anymore, so I don't really get to catch up on that. But he was doing an interview the other day, and he was talking about the "Let's Go Brandon" slogan. And he was talking about it's more than the, FJB. Let's Go Brandon is literally the epitome of pushing back against the politics and the media, because they want you to believe that what you see and hear is not reality. And that's the perfect slogan, because just like the reporter, she obviously heard what they were saying at the NASCAR thing. And she changed it to, they're saying, "Let's go Brandon." And he said that's the epitome of basically where we're at in this country, is that don't believe what you see and what you hear, listen to what I tell you. And he was like, I support the "Let's go Brandon," not because of the FJB, but I support it because it's don't believe what you actually see and hear anymore. And that's literally where we're at right now. Don't pay attention to what's really happening. Just pay attention to what we tell you and you'll be just fine.
Yep. So I'll piggyback on that, and exactly what Reaper said. It's kind of it's all propaganda, and it's guilty on all sides. If anybody doesn't believe that, they would be very naive to think so. There's a lot of things that goes on, at a higher level. Definitely not on our level. However, they want you to see what they want you to see. That's how you build something. If you eliminate all other avenues, then of course there's only one route of travel, and I think we can all agree on that. So we're going to roll over to Mr. Absentee and get some of his thoughts.
Well, to be honest, can everybody hear me? We good? Okay. I'm kind of with you on that. We're all kind of in the same boat as far as what we're seeing going on and et cetera. And I think that Mike Rowe kind of put it best, like you said. I actually saw that same interview where he was getting, adding that, and it's definitely where they want you just to believe whatever they tell you and go from there. Not have your own, don't believe anything, just believe what they tell you. And I think all of us here kind of know better and know to do our own research and, kind of find our own path rather than listen to what we're being fed. So that's my philosophy anyways.
Exactly right. So and that's one of our goals, is to to get back just to reporting being what reporting's supposed to be. Like nowadays it's very common for you to hear something about a shooting or anything crazy, a carjacking, whatever, and it wasn't very long ago. And I'm pretty sure all of us is old enough to agree that, 15, heck, I would even say 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago, if you heard something like that on the news, it was a, oh my God moment. Yep. You just didn't hear things like that. And now it's just, it's a common thing. I mean, you can find something every single day of shooting or carjacking or some sort of attack all over the world. It just happens, freely, and it's sad to say. It's very sad to say, and that's not what America was built on. America was built on pride, built on being the best, built on representing the best. So we've got to get back to that, no matter how or whatever we got to do. Both sides, you got your left, your right. I don't want to look at it as a left, right side, conservative, liberal, whatever the case may be. I want to look at it as Americans. Okay, we're here, and if if people continue to have let their personal fact feelers is what I want to call it. If they let that get in the way of what is actually important as far as moral values or what differs, then we're not going to have a nation. It's just that simple. A nation divided will not stand. And I think we all agree on that. I'm actually going to move over to Demon. We're going to get some of your thoughts on it there, Demon.
Well, if you look today, whether you're looking at Fox or CNN or any of these supposed news channels out there, they have all in the past 20 or so years added a word to the name of their channel. They're no longer the news; it's news entertainment. You know these anchors are now entertainment personalities, and so what you're seeing on television, aside from them pushing agendas and ideas that align with their own personal political beliefs, is you're seeing news stories that bring ratings up. You know, there's been a phrase for years that everybody loves a good tragedy. Well, that's why you're always seeing these news articles about shootings and robberies. And I mean, even on the Weather Channel these days, you can't watch the Weather Channel without something being sensationalized. So I'd like to think that that's kind of part of what this is to go back to the days when you had real reporters, when you had your Walter Cronkites who would get on, read you the news, read you the facts of that news, and let you as an individual make your own decisions based on the facts. Because there's too much these days now where nobody cares about facts. They care about what makes them feel good. And that's, I think, probably the biggest problem that we're facing right now. And that's on both sides of the aisle. Both parties are guilty of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just kind of where I'm at. I watched that same Mike Rowe video, and I've followed him for quite a while. I've long said that, and I don't know what his political leanings are. I don't really care. If you sit down and listen to that man, whether it's his podcasts that he does, the television shows that he's done, the interviews that he's done, that's a man who has learned through life and living and bases things on his actual real life experience. It's a voice of reason that is sorely missed in news anchors and in the government today.
Absolutely. Let me refer over here to the chat. We're going to talk to Palmetto for a minute. No, we're not going to be offering any beard maintenance products. No. Y'all check out that link that's posted in there. So that link should be working now.
Okay.
There will be a merchandise coming. That's all in the works. I do plan on everything being USA made. I do want to stick to that criteria. Also, you can jump on there. Like I said, y'all use that site. I mean, it's created for your use, and enjoy it. There's a lot of things you can do on there. You can private chat with people. You can post on the post streams, whatever, create groups, all kinds of stuff. There's also an app that goes along with it that makes it friendly user for your phone. So by all means, y'all get in there and enjoy. Any of y'all in the chat, y'all got any questions? Really? No? Yeah, y'all got something.
Come on, folks. Somebody say something.
Miss Blessed, April D. Yes, we will have some extra small. We're actually going to have a child line as well. So we'll go from extra small to medium and then the plus size, like myself.
Is there anything that y'all would like to see discussed? Any subjects in particular that you want to see talked about? Anything like that?
While we're waiting, what are your thoughts? What's everyone's thoughts on America moving forward? Are we going to be a divided country, or are we going to be able to stay together? While we're waiting, what are your thoughts? What's everyone's thoughts on?
So I'll go first on that. As of right now, and I talk to a lot of people from all walks of life daily. My personal opinion, I think a lot of the division is not really there. I mean, there is some there, and I promise you there's division, but I don't think it's on the mass level that's being produced for everybody to see. And that kind of refers back to what we were talking about earlier. Unless they want us to see it, is what they're going to put out, and that's what we're going for here. I do plan, on having a guest on here every night, rather it be a member of the group or a guest from anywhere at that point. I would really like to get people on here from all walks of life, kind of get their feel on the same situation. So that's my thoughts on it. I don't think it's quite divided, but I definitely think that it's being pushed in that direction. That is definitely a narrative that is being used. It's been used since the beginning of America. I mean, if you think about it, that's exactly how America was founded. That's how it was started, because of division. But it came to a point where, people said, no, that's enough. We're going to fix this, and we're going to fix it ourselves.
So I have a thought on that. I think a big problem today is that a lot of people, all they do is see what's on the news, and they take that as biblical truth. And so if they see CNN or Newsmax or Fox or MSNBC saying, "Oh, everybody's so divided, and nobody loves anyone, and this and that and the other," and they see nothing but division being preached over and over and over again, they take that as God's honest truth, that that's what's happening in real life every day. When people take the time to look outside of that, glowing box in their living room and realize that there is life that exists outside of what, the popular anchor is telling them, then I agree on the whole. The individual people are not as divided nearly as the news media would have you to believe. But I do think that there are sections of this country who depend solely on what's being told to them from the talking box in the house, and that's how they base every decision in their life. Well, they said it on MSNBC, so it must be God's honest truth, right? So I think there is definitely some division there, but it's division based in ignorance, in willful ignorance at that. We live in a time now where connecting with people all over the world is as easy as clicking a couple of buttons on the internet. But people choose to live in their own little turtle shell where nobody can talk to them or touch them, or they don't ever experience some real life. So I guess the way I kind of feel about it is there is division, it's not to a point yet where it's a it's not to a point where it's going to destroy everything, but it's kind of like a snowball rolling down the hill. It's rapidly heading in that direction, in my opinion. I don't think that this country is that far out from having no amicable solutions for the division of left and right in this country.
Absolutely. There's definitely a break in there. And the thing is, I don't want to say that people can't get the information, like you said. I mean, we've literally got more technology at our fingertips than what it took for them to land on the moon, or so to say, landed on the moon. So the information is there. I mean, people just got to search for it, or either, like you said, they do not want to know what the truth is. So a lot of people will form an opinion without actually doing a little bit of research, because research takes, a little bit of work. And I hate to say it like that, but I mean, it's the truth.
Kind of coming off what Demon just said and some of the things you said too, Vanguard. I've been out and about in the public a lot this week because it's Christmas time and doing different things. And I come in contact with a lot of people from different nationalities. Let's face it, I'm a minority in my area because of demographics. And most people I run into, they're friendly, nice. It doesn't matter. None of this garbage we see and we're fed is how people react to you. I think like you said, what the media is showing us, it's a sliver. It's like an outlier. And they want us to believe that's how it is everywhere, because that keeps the ratings up, keeps us divided, keeps us at each other's throats, not trusting each other. I'll go out my way if I see somebody, it doesn't matter what walk of life they are, what color their skin is, whatever. If I'm going in a store or something, I'll hold the door for them. And sometimes they'll look at you like you're crazy because it goes against everything they've seen. And if you take time to speak to somebody, it just breaks the mold. And I go out of my way to do that just to show that what you're seeing on TV is not how it really is. If any of them happen to be some of those people that live, eat, and drink MSNBC, it's just that's not how it is. But the problem is, like you said, the more people who think everything's the gospel that comes out of the idiot box every evening at 6:00, they're the ones you got to convince otherwise, because they think that's really how it is. And that's how the government wants it to be portrayed, because they don't want us to see what they're doing. So it's a lot easier for us to be focused on each other and fighting amongst ourselves, rather than waking up and seeing what's really going on around us. I'll step off my soapbox now.
Well, no, by all means. I mean, what you're saying is dead on point. And everybody knows what sleight of hand is. If I'm over here moving the cups around, you're not watching that I already took the ball out of the cup. So people's not paying attention. So the best way to redirect someone is to put a shiny object over on the other side of the scale. And when you do that, it's real easy. So we've got all these trials going on, right? All these politicized trials that should have never been politicized. Okay. And what we're doing is everybody, and I'm guilty of it as well. I sit there and watch these trials, watch them. And I'm missing what is actually important as far as the actual infrastructure of our country. And we're all guilty of it. I'm dead to rights guilty. I do the same thing. I get hung up on one subject and I kind of get misled. And then I come back and somebody's like, hey, did you see this happen? I'm like, oh, no, I did not. And it happens all the time. So what we've got to do as a nation, or my personal beliefs and my own opinion, which may not weigh much, but it matters to me. So we've got to look at the facts. And that's what our goal is here, is to provide facts only. Leave all emotion out of it, and provide what we think needs to be provided to everybody. So that way everybody can make their own decisions. That way, if there's any type of deterrent that's going on that's maybe keeping people from the truth, maybe this will kind of eliminate that in a fair sense, if that makes any sense at all. So, all right, chat. Where y'all at? Y'all got some questions? Let me look at this chat right quick. Epstein trial. That's a common one. Let's see. I have not. So I got a question in the chat about the Epstein trial. I haven't really heard anything of value come out of that. And it kind of, goes back, and I don't understand why it's not being publicized as much as anything else, because that could be a big deal. There could be a lot of incriminating information come out as a whole for our entire nation. A lot of people sit back and they're like, oh, I want this person to be dirty or this person to be dirty. What we got to realize, is what we think of our leadership, other countries think the same thing. So it's kind of when I see it, it's an embarrassing moment myself personally. I would really like for us to be kind of back in the old days. I know we all look back for olden times, as we'll call it, but I would prefer to be able to hold my head proud and say, I'm proud of my leadership. Our government's got it under control. They're helping us out, taking care of us. So that's kind of my roundabout way on the Epstein trial. Let me look in here and see what else we got. Anybody else want to weigh in on that while I'm searching here?
I'll weigh in a little bit on the Epstein trial. I don't think that it's going to. I don't think you're going to hear a whole lot. Frankly, I think there are probably some big names involved, and it's going to be buried intentionally for the most part. They'll throw out a few. They'll throw out a few smaller fish, but the ones that really matter. They'll throw out a few smaller fish.
My bad.
The ones that really matter will they'll get off scot-free. And I don't want that to be the truth. But if there's one thing that our justice system has shown, is that if you got enough money, you can get away with anything.
Or if you whine enough.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you. I think that I don't see anything coming of it. I think it's going to be another laptop.
Yeah, I 100% like. I don't want it to be true, but I feel like that's going to be the case. And then let's face it, there's some pretty major things abroad that we've got to look at, because if they unfold, we will start seeing things on our shores. Russia and China both are making moves that potentially are going to lead to another global conflict, a true World War III. And you could take it to the bank that if that happens, there will be conflict on our soil. I 100% believe it. China's had troops in a joint training agreement with Canada for years. There's been video proof that has come out that Russia has had troops over there as well. Those aren't just they're not just happenstance things. So yeah, we need to pay attention to things like the Epstein trial. The unfortunate reality is that you and I and everybody else, we can't affect the Epstein trial.
No.
But it could very be there's a very real possibility that we could see armed conflict on our soil in the near future. And I mean against foreign powers. Ranger J, do you have a site or
Some kind of link
something
to
that you can post? I haven't seen that. So what about Putin talking to Biden? I can say this. From what I've seen, there hasn't been anything put out about what Biden has responded or what Putin has responded back to Biden's. Oh, we're going to post more sanctions, but I can tell you from experience, in previous actions, Vladimir Putin doesn't give a crap about what Joe Biden has to say. Joe Biden can throw all the sanctions that he wants, but they don't really hold any weight anymore.
Well, no, I mean, they're not going to hold any weight. Putin controls how much of the oil in Europe.
Right.
It's not like you're going to be able to cripple them financially. And it's like a bunch of hollow threads, basically. That's how Putin looks at it. And he's got his sights set on Ukraine. There's no doubt.
Yeah. The defense minister in Kiev he's flat out saying we're going to be invaded by January. And the Russians have put out that they have currently 90,000 troops on the border and another 175,000 on standby. Now, that's the official, quote unquote, official numbers, but I think that it's very likely that there's more than that.
Well, did you also hear? I heard on the radio today that the meeting between Putin and Biden, that this is one of the times where the media was not allowed access on our side.
That doesn't really surprise me.
What was funny is the very same media was saying that past administrations allowed them much more access than this one.
Well, past administrations aren't afraid to, the previous administration was not afraid to, okay, sorry, I just got caught up. The previous administration wasn't afraid to say whatever they wanted to say on the news. At least the most recent previous administration, by all appearances, wanted to share that information with the American people, so they had the information to make solid, informed decisions.
Right.
The current administration wants to hide everything.
Well, I think what we're seeing is there's so many irons in the fire, and it's just one thing after the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what caught up my attention.
Yeah.
I was scrolling through that article and trying to talk at the same time.
So seeing that, how many got in that weren't arrested?
Right, you could probably count on double that number
At least, if
making
not
it
triple.
through.
Then that would be sleeper cells.
Yep. So Ozzy, I did see an article. I saw an article earlier today about that. Biden has said that U.S. troops won't be involved. We currently have, I think, we got like what? It's not a large force there in the Ukraine itself. I want to say it's in the tens of thousands that are in the Ukraine currently, but I couldn't tell you that for a fact, so don't quote me on it. But basically, yeah, the article that I read today, Biden said that if they do decide to invade, we're not going to do anything. We're gonna say nope, you can't do that, and then write a piece of paper that says we're not gonna supply you with this because you did this.
Well, I know sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
No, you're good.
I know that also today I was listening and they were talking about that the White House is currently looking at evacuation procedures to get Americans out of the Ukraine. I'm going, yeah.
Well, I hope they did a better job than they did in the stand.
Exactly, because they really screwed the pooch there and covered it up.
I'll say this. If I was an American in the Ukraine right now, I would already be leaving.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be gone.
Yeah.
Now, I don't say that to say that I believe that Putin would have Russian troops target Americans, but it's going to happen. Not targeting per se, but risk of injury and all that stuff.
Yeah. They basically accidental collateral damage is what they'll call it. It won't be like we directly engaged that hotel with 50 Americans in it, but yeah, we did drop a bomb in the third floor. Sorry.
Well, and I don't even think it's going to be. Putin knows well enough to know that it's going to be military target. He's going to hit military targets because he knows if they did, kill a bunch of Americans, then you're going to have a problem to deal with.
Well, now that not a
theoretically.
In a Walgreens commercial or a Hidden Valley Ranch commercial, you're correct.
Yeah,
but we're not in either one.
Touche.
Just saying. Basically, he has no respect for the leadership here,
but he does have But he has expressed the fact that he does have respect for the American people themselves.
Sure, but I'm saying I wouldn't put it past him to try and demoralize the situation.
Maybe, yeah.
And he's not going to care about any ramifications because he doesn't feel that this administration is going to follow through with anything. Whether he's not concerned with any kind of sanctions because he's a big enough world power where it's irrelevant to him. He doesn't care. He's not concerned with the world stage, I don't think. Yeah. Does he strike you as somebody that gives a shit about much? Not to me. He never
has.
Exactly. So that's just my take on it.
Well, Putin's already stated that he wants the old Soviet Union back. He said that numerous times. He was head of the KGB. This dude's not fooling around. Joe Biden can clean his toilet for all he cares. I mean, this dude literally spent most of his life hunting people down and knowing the secrets of the most powerful people in the world. And he's dealing with a dude that eats ice cream and can't walk upstairs. So I don't think he has any fear whatsoever of anything that comes out of Joe Biden's mouth.
No,
he does not. You were spot on with everything you just said.
And and that's just he may not have been scared of Trump, but that he respected the man.
That's it.
Because he knew Trump was crazy enough to push the red button if some shit popped off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, we're going to have to see how it plays out. I mean, the thing is, it's made it to the media now. That means it's already been happening for a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we
They
get
can't cover
everything.
it up.
What was that? I'm sorry.
No, I was saying they can't cover it up now. That's when the media starts getting out in front of it, is when they no longer can keep it contained and steer it the way they want to steer it. So it's bigger than them now.
Taz, which laws are you talking about, bud? Oh, I did see about that. New York City school districts are going to require the vaccine for 5 and up.
Well, we can talk about the vaccines a little bit. I guess I don't want to get into it too hard, but
yeah,
I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Okay, I just don't want the damn vax.
Right?
Yeah.
If everybody else gets it, I'm fine with that. I don't care, but I don't want it.
Well, and I think that's the common thing is if you want to get it, by all means, choose to get it. That's fine. It's that another individual doesn't have the right to say you will get it, period.
Yeah.
So
I think that's where the breakdown is. The people started bristling when they started getting told, you're going to do this.
Right.
That's not the cornerstone of this country.
Well, right. Let's be real. Americans of any generation have never done well when someone says, you will do this. Typically, as Americans, our response is, make me. It's that's just the attitude of the average American. Left, right, center, purple, blue, green, white, black, it doesn't matter.
Well, and that goes back to earlier what I was saying. That's what our nation was founded on.
Yep.
Being told, hey, you're going to do this, you're going to grow all this stuff, you're going to send it to us, and we're like, oh hell no, we're not doing that. So
that's what the Revolutionary War was fought for.
Yep.
That's.
So I'm not meaning anything by this, but does anybody know how long it took for the Revolutionary War to start off? What was the buildup? You know how long it took?
It was like 9 or 10 years. I say 9 or 10. It was more than that, but the serious actions were. It was still quite a few years. I couldn't give you an exact time.
So I looked it up the other day because I was curious. 21 years.
wow.
It began in the French and Indian War. That was kind of the first place that historians can mark where the buildup for the Revolutionary War began, because during that time, when the British soldiers came over to fight, the colonists, what we consider Americans, the first Americans, they wanted to help fight, and instead the British would not let them fight because they weren't with the conventional army. Instead, they would strip them of their arms, they would take their ammo, they would use their animals to feed their army, they would use their houses for shelter. And so that was kind of the beginning point, because people were like, okay, so you don't want us to fight in a war that's within our own boundaries and that immediately deals with us in our backyard, but you want to take all of our crap. And so historians have kind of marked the French and Indian War as kind of the first place they can point a finger where the buildup to the Revolutionary War. 21 years later, during that time, they added the Stamp Act, the Sugar Act, the Sugar Act first, the Stamp Act, and it just kept building and building and building to where you got to, the shot heard around the world at Lexington and Concord.
Oh, Crackerjack historian Jay.
That's good. Good opening live, everybody. That's what
Yeah.
we're going to be doing here is, just talking about things. And like, as you can tell, we kept that unemotional and we sat here and fact checked ourselves. Okay. And that's the goal.
Yep.
We do have a resident whipping boy here, as he goes by Ranger J. So anytime y'all want to pick on old Ranger J, y'all just give it a whirl. It's fun. We do it all the time. Yeah,
Hey, I see it in the chat that Jay gave you your salute for the evening, sir.
Yeah, I get that very, very commonly.
You can tell where the love is.
Oh yeah. So I got to give credit to Jay though. He kind of, I don't want to say push, but motivated me into this, and it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. There's several voices that need to be heard, and we're going to try to hit every avenue of platforms to be able to do so. And your voices matter here. So you come in this chat, you say, hey, I got some things I want to talk about, certain things like that. Just get with me, and we'll get you scheduled to get on here, and we'll talk about it. I mean, it's just that simple. You're not going to be silenced here. We do have rules that we want to stick by. We want to keep everything as clear as possible. Don't say anything to anybody that you wouldn't say to your grandma. Okay, and that's how we're going to try to keep it respectful. We're going to keep all the threatening comments out of here, and of course, no racial slurs or anything like that. And I'm going to go back to what Tim was talking about earlier, helping anybody out, and it doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and say it. I'm guilty. I'll go to a coffee shop, so just some places have better coffee. I pay for the person behind me every time I go. I don't look to see who's in there, whatever. They stick their head out. Hey, this is what you owe. I'm like, hey, I want to pay for the one behind me. I don't see how many people's in there, whatever. A good act is going to be a good act without a motivation or any gain or benefit from that. And I kind of, challenge everybody to do that. If we can't do small tokens like that in order to kind of make somebody see a little bit of humanity, then, what's the purpose? I mean, what's the point? And let's go over here. We got Jay thinks he's getting bullied.
That means he needs a safe space.
Well, somebody better bust out a safety pin.
What? I need to flow Vanguard around. What?
I think that's supposed to say follow, but you know how the spelling goes there.
Oh, there's the correction right there. Let's see. Did any of you see the video I shared tonight? I don't think so, Ozzy. I don't think I got to it yet. I'll take a look right now. I don't see it right now, Ozzy. I'll check that out in a little bit, though. Residential clown.
Ozzy, I think I did see that. I don't know if I saw it where you shared it or if I saw it somewhere else, but I saw one similar to that.
Yes. Now you're refreshing my memory. I did see that. I actually watched several YouTube videos of that. I think I've seen one where a guy was at a bus stop and he asked a guy for $1 or something like that, and he wound up giving the guy, $100 or a couple $100 like that. But several of them turned him down. They wouldn't even offer $1. But the guy that seemed to be the worst off out of all of them that he talked to offered his last dollar. You know what I mean? That's just somebody that has absolutely nothing is willing to give it all. And that's important.
Yeah.
That's what we got to get back to.
Yep.
Think about how different things would be and how hard it'd be to slant everybody's view if each person just stopped to do one thing, one gesture. Just one thing, holding the door, speaking to somebody, paying for their coffee. I mean, just think of how hard it'd be to push the narrative that's currently being pushed.
Right.
You couldn't get any traction.
No, absolutely not. Well, look at there. We're going to follow suit, Jay.
That's like that old phrase, you spread positivity and it'll come back to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Pay it forward.
There was a whole movie about that.
Yes, there was. Absolutely.
Well, I enjoyed it this evening.
Yes.
I did too.
This
Good.
was a great getting our feet wet. But I see great things. We just stay on track.
Absolutely. It's been a long time coming. We kind of came together and everything, and then finally got to this point. And I'll give kudos to Jay continually on that. He keeps me around, everybody. He definitely keeps me motivated in the nicest way possible.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it. Let's say it that way. We'll keep it at that. Reaper, you got any closing comments, brother?
Hey, I think pretty much everybody that's in the chat already knows, but if there is anybody that doesn't, go to the website, check it out, be part of the group. If you're a patriot, if you love the country, if this is if you want to see things get back to the way the founding fathers wanted it, sitting on the couch and watching the TV isn't going to do it. I think that's a big majority of the reason a lot of us got into coming together as a group, was trying to find ways to talk to each other and make a positive move to bring things back to the way they're supposed to be. Hopefully, if you feel the same way, you'll reach out and look into things. It's a good community of people. There's a lot of really, really good people in this group. A lot of really smart people. There's something to learn from everybody. So if there's anybody out there that's looking for something like that, check it out. That's all I got.
All right, perfect. T, you got anything, buddy?
Just, I think this went really well for our first run. It's great to see everybody here tonight and participation. And I look forward to it growing from here and us getting better, as we grow. It's exciting.
Heck yeah. Damon, I'm going to leave it with you, buddy. And then I'll do a little speaking at the end, and then we'll close this thing out.
I will say this: it's a new thing for me, like it is for, I think, all of us on here tonight. But it was really I enjoyed it, and I think moving forward, it's just going to get better. And I don't know. I love it. I can't wait to see it grow.
Absolutely. Well, first off, I'd like to thank all three of y'all for coming on here. And most of all, thank y'all in the chat. I mean, thank y'all for your support. Make sure you share, like the video, tell your friends about it, tell your grandma, post it wherever. Let's get some people on here. Let's bring them together. Like I said, all walks of life, I will tell you, we do go off script a little bit, as you can tell already. So that's good. That's great. We always start out with a plan. Whatever the description is, we'll start with that wherever we end, or whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter. We're not here to dictate what anybody says or any exact principle of what anybody wants to guide on. So we'll just flow with it. That's what we're here for. I do not have a schedule laid out as to when we'll be doing these, so y'all just keep an eye out for the link, or the YouTube notifications. Make sure y'all get on that site. Anybody that's new here, get on that site, share the site. A lot of information comes out there that's pretty privy to individuals that's on there. Other than that, thank you all for being here. Salute. Stay safe. God bless. And America.